last week I tried from home last week, and I know Arthur last week said he went offline too, and you have AT&T, right, Arthur?
No, I have CenturyTel.
Oh, okay, that's not it then. I tried at home through my phone. I thought that would work through my personal hotspot, but that didn't work out as well as I thought, so I'm back at school this week. I might try it again some other week, though, just not yet.
It seemed to work fairly good for a while last week.
It did. It did work for a while, and then all of a sudden, it was like I got lost, and I could hear you guys, but I couldn't get back in the Hangout somehow. I don't know.
I've been unplugging my wireless router so I don't compete with every other device in the house, so I think that helps.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
I'm pretty sure there's the kids have an iPad each. We would both have an iPhone. I'm sure that, and then there's 2 laptops. They're all probably grabbing something.
Yeah, that's true. So, well, I tried some. I don't know if we're started. We're not officially started yet.
I just started recording. I was about to tell you.
Oh. Well, I started something new. I mean, I tried something new today, so I guess it's not. It's kind. Well, it is. I guess it is blended learning. Well, we have a new updated math curriculum with the Common Core, and with the first grade, there is so much reading in there. They can't read the words yet. Maybe by the end of the year, but this is our math now. A lot of story problems and different scenarios, which it's going to be okay. But so I tried the first assessment last week, and it was a catastrophe, waste of paper. So I thought, well, before our materials came in so late, before the materials came in for the first 3 weeks of school, the first grade anyway, ours came in really late. We had to go online at McGraw-Hill and get everything we needed on there, to teach our lesson. So I thought, wait a minute, the assessments were on there. So this morning I put up on the projector and I went into McGraw-Hill and got the assessment up there, and then the kids and I went through it problem by problem.
Oh, very cool.
Because I thought, and I said to them, I think they liked it really. I mean, I think they enjoyed it. They participated. They weren't as engaged as, I don't know, maybe I could use slates with them the next time. It's a learning curve,
Awesome. Now, what product is that through McGraw-Hill? Is that the new Connect they have?
Yes. Yes, it's the new Connect.
I use that for AP Biology. Do you use the draggable tests and everything?
Let's see now. Okay, how do the draggable tests? I mean, maybe, but how does that work?
Well, where they would have a list, and then they maybe a chart where they had to drag and drop different concepts into the chart.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're on there. They're on there. You just have to choose them. They aren't always labeled. Sometimes they're called labeling or matching, but they're really great for a deeper understanding with the kids. I mean, it is concept mapping too, which is really nice.
Well,
and that's right in what we're supposed to be doing this last module, actually, with Bloom's taxonomy and Webb's. So, yeah, they're on there. I don't know if they'd be there for that level, but they must be because everybody's getting ready for the new online assessments.
Yes. Well, I'm going to get in there. I'm getting in there again tomorrow morning because I didn't want to do everything in one day. I mean, I didn't want to wear them out or anything. But we're going to finish up tomorrow, so I'll poke around. I did find, the longer I was in there, I kept finding other things around on the screen that I could navigate better in the site.
Yeah. Gosh, what is that under? You go on there to make the assessment, and then
down at the bottom there's e-tools.
Well, no, you know how you can filter the question type?
Yes.
If you choose the labeling, which you don't normally think to do with matching and labeling necessarily on formal assessments, but a lot of those will have videos and readings on there, and the videos will play, and then the text will be underneath them as well, and then they'll ask questions about it, which is really neat. And the new MEEP that's coming out, you actually get a choice as a school to choose either the online or the paper version. And if it's the paper version, you have to have the one test day and then a smaller time frame. And then with the new online version, it's going to be like an 8-week span where you can do it any time in there. but they're going to have those different types of questions on
Oh.
the new Meet, which will allow kids to have partial credit, which I like.
Well, the very last part of it we didn't get to today is open response. I bet that might be in that section.
Well, that would no. The open response is more of them just typing. It'll give them a text box, but and they aren't on every test question, and they don't clearly identify which ones are. I wonder if it's the same, but I'm tempted to just pull mine up here in a minute and show it to you.
Okay. I found where I could navigate around better, and I found where they would read the question and you could back up and reread it, or get definitions. I found that part.
Yeah, and did you find the advanced tool that gives them the feedback when they take the test?
Oh no, I'm gonna look for that.
That took me a while to find. I had to actually call the company. I didn't even realize it was there. Boy, I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'm gonna say hi to Jamie though, because she's been there for a minute.
Hi.
But yeah, that tool. Gosh, where is that? Do you guys mind me pulling it up real quick?
Well, otherwise I can look again in the morning and we can talk about it next Wednesday.
Let me pull one up real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a screen share, and then I'm gonna try to navigate to my Connect account for my AP Bio kids. I just went into infinity mode, didn't I? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I guess while Sean's doing that, just so Kathy and Jamie are aware, and I guess Sarah also, Gail will not be joining us. Her work commitments right now have increased pretty heavily, and she's just not able to continue. So just so that you're aware, that is not Gail's style. She always follows through in everything she does, but just her work commitments were just a little too much at this point. So anyway, that's why she's not with us. Wasn't with us last week and won't be with us from now on.
Okay. Thank you.
That was Gail's moment of silence.
Yeah.
Hold on a second here. Okay, I got that.
Well, I'm feeling it too. I just feel I'm barely hanging on with everything, but I'm pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Like somebody said around here the other day, it's like a rolling when you look back, there's a rolling boulder and it's gaining on you.
Yeah. We aren't making any ground. It already went over me, and there's another one coming, I think. Is this kind of what yours looks like?
Oh, no, not really. I can't see yours very good. If I click on you, will yours take up the screen?
Can you can hit Control Plus a couple times. That might help.
Okay.
Is this similar to yours?
No, not really.
So
no, it's not. It's different.
Let me add an assignment. I want to see if it has similar tools. Do you have tools that look something like this? Or is it a different platform?
Let me see. I'm going to... Oh, I see. Oh, well, that looks sort of similar. You're right.
Let me go into the test builder, because I would imagine they would use fairly similar stuff.
Only maybe not quite so advanced.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is AP Bio, but I wonder if they have the same format, you know?
This looks a lot like it, yes.
Okay, I'm sure it is, yeah.
Yes.
So once you're in here... Well, let me go back, actually, because I just got a little off. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a random chapter. Kids will think I just gave them a test today. They'll think I'm giving them another one. So, do you have the multiple different test banks to draw from? One. You see how I have 5 here?
Yeah, I see that.
Or is it just one?
Well, there's different kinds of tests to choose from. I mean, different kinds of assessments.
All right. Well, once you're in there, let me go ahead and just choose one. And do you see over here how there's all these question types?
Yes.
Okay. The labeling, the classification, and I think even the composition will have these draggables. And sometimes the sequence will allow you to put in order, which is kind of neat for kids to be able to manipulate the test questions. And then once you do that, you click here where it says filter results. You can even go search by Bloom's taxonomy, which is kind of funny since we're on that topic. But if you filter them, it will push those questions over here, and you can click on them. You can preview each one before, and I do that when I make them. But if I just select them all and say add all 19, I'm just going to add them as individual questions. Let me see if I can actually go in here to the
Oh, it says 19 have been added.
Yep. I just wanted to see if I could preview them without actually assigning them.
Oh.
So, okay, do you see what that looks like?
Yes.
So you can actually click and drag these to where you think they belong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I can't do it here because I'm not the student, but you can drag them to the right period and so on. And so it'll allow the students to put them where they belong, which is kind of neat. I really like it. I mean, that's just one use. Sometimes it's a chart where you drag the terms or the descriptions into the different map, kind of like a compare and contrast, and then the middle for both and that kind of thing. They'll have those sometimes as well. A lot of neat ways to give those summative assessments, and the kids really like them, and they really require the kids to think a lot more, which is, oops, I just exited back into that assignment. I'll look at one more thing, because the assignment.
Large class you have there, Shawn. 0 students.
Oh, on that one?
I was giving you a hard time.
Oh, yeah. I have done the assignment. Yeah, I know. Nobody's working on it. What's going on? No, there's only about 21, 22 kids.
I was going to say, I really like the class size.
Yeah, I only get that for one class, unfortunately. The rest of them are like 35. Shoot, none of these have the video. Let me go back here. I do want to show you one that has the video on it, because those are kind of neat. Because it's a different thing, especially for the younger kids. They would love to watch videos and answer questions about it. And
oh yeah, they would do well in that.
I know there's one here on the test I just gave them today, so I don't know if it'll let me edit it because they've already taken it though. Yeah, I can't.
Oh.
What's active? It'll probably still let me look at it though. Let's go get pajamas. And so when you're in here, you see where it says animation?
Yeah.
That animation will actually be a video, and then there'll be like 3 questions about it. It's actually a video with a reading underneath, so my students won't even have the sound on. They'll read it just like they would a reading, but they like it because it's got pictures and they can pause it and scroll up and down in the reading, which is kind of nice. So I put a couple of those on every test. I was going to take it off, and then the kids said they really liked them, so I said, okay, I'll leave them on there. Because and they aren't easy. They really are hard questions, but they like the little breakup in the test, they said. They said it's kind of like a test break where they get to do something fun. So, you know, that kind of stuff has been great with this new system, and I hadn't used it to its fullest potential before. I was just creating my multiple choice test banks, pushing them out, and getting it done, and then I started playing around with the stuff that was there, and I really liked some of it. Now, the other thing, remember I said it won't show the feedback, but you can pair it to? And that is in the, give me a moment here. I go to this unnamed assignment that we just made, and I can go to edit the assignment. You would do this while you made it, obviously, but if I were going to go ahead and move through pushing this assignment out, which I'm sure you've done before, you see where it says exam here? If you choose exam as your option, like you're giving a test, and then you see this little thing that's kind of hidden that I just didn't notice and felt silly after they told me it was there? Where it says expand advanced settings. To expand that, you can actually decide the feedback you want your students to have and when you want them to have it. So you can actually tell it to have it for
Shawn, your audio is breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, Kathy, if you're following me, you can see over here where your options would change, and you can actually adjust how you want your feedback to be for your students.
Oh, excellent.
And so you can have it hold the feedback. I have it saved as my default settings to automatically push it out. But if a student doesn't show up for the test day, I shut that off. Run it back to not showing anybody until everybody's taken it. Or I'll let everybody see it and just take it and then close it back out after. Because you can always go back in and edit it. But that's there above the exam where it says advanced settings.
Yeah.
But that should be the same in your system as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, it looks a lot the same. I'm going to check that. I'm going to look farther into it tomorrow.
Yeah, and I've used it more this year than I ever have, just because I found way better tools. I mean, even my reviews. Do you use the LearnSmart reviews? Do they have them for your level?
Oh, I didn't see them.
Look for those. They're called LearnSmart, and it will not let them progress on until they've mastered the skill, which is really cool.
Oh.
So they are not allowed to complete the assignment until they've mastered each level in it, and it will ask them for each test question inside of these LearnSmart assignments, how confident are you about this topic? And then what they will do is it will change their question. So if they feel very confident, it will require them to type the answer in. If they don't feel very confident, they'll have a real easier question, and then we'll ask them a harder question later about that same topic until they've proved mastery. And this type of, it's really cool because it's improved my AP scores for sure. And that's the LS, the LearnSmart. So I can't show it to you because I'm not a student. I could go into student view, but I'm not going to bore everybody with that.
No, that's okay. I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it further. There.
Okay, we're back. I'm sorry about that little tour. When she said McGraw Hill, I figured she had Connect or access to Connect, and that is a really neat tool that anybody with McGraw should use if they have the licensing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And in about a couple of years, I think we're all going to have to do the online testing anyway. Did you guys get that memo today that just came out?
No.
With the timeline?
No, in fact, I was in a meeting with my principal after school, and she said right now there is no assessment for the spring. That was as of what she knew at 4 o'clock.
You want me to put it up on the screen? I might be able to get it on my email.
Is it from the Department of Ed?
Yeah. My superintendent went to a meeting. I'm on the tech committee with them, so he sent it over to me just to let me look at it. It might not be something they push out to everybody right away. Let me see if I can find it. You guys go ahead and talk for a minute. I'm going to see if I can find it.
Okay. How was your day, Jamie?
Oh, good.
Good. Were the kids really active?
No, they were. I have a fantastic class, and they're pretty mellow most of the time, so.
Oh, good.
Not too bad.
Oh, good. Well, and we had outdoor recess today, so that was nice.
Yes, that was long last week with the days of indoor recess, so.
You can say that again.
And sorry, I was a couple of minutes late. We have hockey on Monday and Wednesdays, so we were just getting back with my son.
I don't think you missed more than 30 seconds of conversation.
Okay.
We really had just gotten started.
Yep.
Jamie, you really burned some midnight oil. I didn't mean when I sent the email the other night. I just wanted to check to see if everything was all right. And then all of a sudden, boom, you got busy.
Well, you know, I
Hopefully you didn't
spent.
take that as pressuring, because it was not intended that way.
No, I didn't take it that way. I spent the whole weekend working on my website because I was really excited to get it out to my parents and students. So I kind of did all that work first and then came back and did the coursework. So
Good. Have you had any feedback from parents and students on your website?
not from parents, but I'm asking students every day what they're doing, and a lot of them are going. I put a link to another school that has all of the math Common Core state standards, and then it connects to the game, a game that you can practice that skill on. So it's pretty neat. So in the newsletter, I'm putting like one NBT.1, and they can go to that link and find that and then go right to the game. So the kids some of them have been doing that, and then we had one indoor recess today, so all of them wanted to go on the web page and check it out. So the student response is good. So haven't heard from parents yet, but.
Very good. Kathy, how has progress been on yours?
Well, I have to get back to my website.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said there.
I said I'm going to have to get back to my website. My progress isn't quite as good as Jamie's.
That's fine. I mean, people are pushing on or putting emphasis on different things, but it sounds like you're all getting things done, and just in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
Any luck, Shawn, on that email?
I actually just shared the document with all you guys. I made a quick copy of it and shared it out to you. I will go to the screen share and just show you the quick timeline. It's going to be probably tough to see, but let me hop over here. So, can you see that?
Yeah.
I'm going to make it a little bigger. So, this was brand new today. I'm assuming this is the updated version. You can see there's different time frames, whether or not you're doing it with a computer or if you're in the 3-week window without a computer and what grade level you're at. But this document has got more than just that on it. It tells you the different recommendations, I believe, that they're putting out for the tentative testing schedule for the summative assignments. Actually, I don't even know. I think these might actually be the ones that they're going to do. I don't think this is tentative anymore. Yeah, this is the transition. So they're trying to figure out how to transition from the paper pencil to actually, doing everything online. So this is what they've given as their guidelines for the testing window. And I'm sure this applies to most of us.
How open is this for sharing, such as with our administrators?
I think this was released by the state superintendent. So you go ahead. I made a copy of it. I'll take the heat if it comes back on me.
All right.
I'm not worried about it. This is not. I don't think it was a private document. Knowing my assistant superintendent is not the most techie person, I don't think she would have had it if it was not meant to be shared. So you're fine. Go ahead and share it.
You're fading.
She's my old mentor. I said, go ahead and share it.
Okay.
Give it to whoever
thank you.
you want. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's been released by the state. So I do know that, as it says here, the online testing has the flexibility of testing anytime, whereas the paper and pencil is a little more restricted, probably because they're worried about access. Well, I know that's why. So.
Well, that's quite a big window for like 5th through 8th grade. That's a 3-week window. I mean that seems good.
Yeah, it looks like most people will be able to flex around it with all the baccalaureate and the AP testing. They had to be a little more flexible with a lot of things. I know that. I guess there was a lot of conversation that went on, so I was told at that meeting. But this is what they seem to have come up with, which doesn't look terribly different than what we're used to. It looks like the ACT for me is still going to be paper and pencil. It doesn't look like much at all has changed except for perhaps this is the MME portion, but it doesn't look like it unless they're saying this is your window for MME, and then it looks like they allow you take more testing at the end of the year, which would be more beneficial. So it looks like they're trying to put the cookie at the end of the year to switch everybody to technology, which I understand, especially with the new tests. And I know the new tests, it says in this document too, are going to be those draggables, kind of like what I was showing you in LearnSmart. There's going to be more of those on the online version, which I like because it allows kids to get more partial credit on test questions. Because you can be partially correct, which is kind of nice, really nice. That was one email I actually read today.
All right, quick question. You said you pushed that out to us?
Yeah, you know what I'll do again? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump back to our video, and I'm going to paste it in the docs over here. But I did share it out to you. It'll be in your shared with me in your Google Docs. But there's the link there, right in the chat box. Yeah, if you can never find anything in your drive, I should probably just do this because we're talking about it. If you can never find anything in your drive, chances are it's hiding out in this very special spot, which I hate mine because I rarely go in there. When I do, I go. There's this little thing that says Shawn with me in your drive account. So scroll down. It's always at the bottom. And if you go to Shawn with me, that's where everything that anybody has ever shared with you is. That you haven't moved. so it's probably right there. Actually,
okay, it just came through now.
Okay, so. Good deal. Awesome.
It was kind of funny. I asked the question about 2 minutes later. All of a sudden, the screen blinks and it came up.
Yeah, I think I'm probably wearing my internet out. Well, I know. What did you work? You worked on something this week. I'm gonna let you share. I can get this thing off my head.
I'm kind of behind in my website, but it's my ultimate goal to get it done and to get it the way I want it to be. But right now, this week, I'm just spending time making the Quizlet flashcards for each chapter, and then I'm going to embed them into the website so they have a tool to use at home to study for tests and things like that.
So that's using Quizlet, is that what you said?
Yeah, yep.
So,
have you used that before?
I have. It's been a few years.
Yeah.
Probably should take another look at that one.
Yeah, they've kept up to date with it. I thought it was going to get old, but they've got some really nice stuff. They've got embedding tools for the websites too, so it'll give you the HTML language. You can drop them right in and organize them right by chapter, by class, or whatever. It works really well.
And it's called Quizlet?
Yeah. Not to do another screen share. Let me show you kind of what that looks like, just in case you haven't seen Quizlet. While we're working on all these Webs and Blooms tools, that's one for sure. Let's see. So for my AP Bio, gotta scroll down. So I've got a link to Quizlet right here. If you go to Quizlet.com, you can make your Quizlets and organize them in folders. And I've organized this one by folder and by class. So every single chapter of my book, and there are literally thousands of vocab terms here that I've typed in over the years. So if I click on, let's say, chapter 35 for AP Bio, and I have these for all of my classes, and there's your list, which is great, there's your vocab, but then you can sort it alphabetically. You can use it as flashcards. And if you turn the flashcard mode on, you can tell it to give you the card or the word or the definition first, so it'll flip it over for you. If you want it the other way, you can click on, there it is, definition first, and then you can do it the other way if you want to study that way, which is really nice. And then you can do a round or actually make it'll actually make a test for you. It'll quiz you, ask you a question, you have to type it in, and then there's a speller where you can work on your spelling. That's kind of nice. It'll speak it to you. Let's see if it'll do it for me.
Cold.
I don't know if you heard that or not, but
Cold.
Yes.
okay. And I'll tell you, for AP biology, a Latin language science, it's terrible. I don't use the speller. My kids wouldn't use that anyway. For any science class, really. Maybe for English or a language, it's perfect for. But then you can actually have it make a test. It'll create a test for your students so they can test themselves. You can even print these off, which is kind of nice if you want to actually print the test off and give it to them. Or if you pay for the upgraded version, you can have the kids log on and actually take tests through their phones and collect it that way, just like you would through any system. So that's an upgrade, though. I know that costs money. This is entirely free, what I'm showing you. So there's scatters where you can actually spread the word out and you have to drag them where you want them. So you'd have to put them in the right spot. I kind of looked this wrong. So you'd have to click them in the right spot. There's 41 words here. They get crazy. There's race as well. It'll give you the word and definition, and you have to type it in. Sometimes they like playing that as well. It's got games in there. And that's pretty much the extent of Quizlet, but from just you typing in your vocabulary words and the definitions, and it gives you all that, it's a lot of bang for no buck. Do that because I need to try. That's a present.
Thank you.
Anybody check out the no Google Classroom app?
The what?
Say it again.
Did you guys check out the new Google Classroom yet?
No.
No.
First, before I even try to get into that, do you guys use Google Docs with your kids at all?
No, not with the kids yet.
I didn't think so. I'm
Not
not
yet.
even gonna. It's a wait. I'm not gonna talk about it. It'll organize anything the kids give you into folders, and at the elementary level, with them not having their own account, which I'm sure they don't, it wouldn't be as useful. Yeah, I don't think
It's something that's coming.
Yeah.
We are just in the process of instituting user IDs across the district, but that's been. It's still in the process staging. They're swapping over usernames and passwords and things like that still.
I gotcha. I just went to the training this last week and went through, and it's fairly simple. And being a strong Google user, it was awesome to have it dump all of the kids' documents into folders for me via the assignment. So if you assign an assignment in Google Docs and they upload their document, it will put it in that folder for you in your drive. So it'll do all the organization.
Sounds like a huge time saver.
Oh yeah, you don't even know what I've done in the past. I was like, oh, all these anybody who's a brand new user doesn't even know what they don't have to do. But it'll be a time saver for sure. The nice thing is you can upload a document in there, and you can allow the kids to edit it, and it'll make a copy for each kid. And so once they edit that copy, then they will turn around and submit it, and it will be like your template or whatever filled out. So it could be an assignment, a flowchart, anything you want, and it would make a copy for that student and put it in that folder with their name already on it. So you don't have to worry about them labeling it or changing it. It's nice, especially if you're going to try to have elementary kids turn things in through Google. It'll be a game changer. I'm just getting my feet wet with this next module, Module 5, is all about communication and making that classroom community. I guess I should talk about that now that we've kind of reviewed a lot of stuff from Module 4. before I do though, is there any questions about anything so far? I know we've kind of all put our 2 cents in. Okay. And so doing online icebreakers and things like that. Arthur, did you do one at your face-to-face?
The icebreaker?
Yeah.
I don't. I did. I don't recall what it was at the moment.
Gotcha. So
Maybe
I guess
Amy.
Yeah, it was something about your something embarrassing.
Oh, that's what I said. Your most embarrassing moment that you're willing to share.
Gotcha. And did you use technology to do that?
No, Arthur said he didn't ever have any embarrassing moments.
Oh, none. I've had a lot.
I think I've had some too.
He didn't
I
say
coached
that.
the whole soccer game the other day with my fly down. The kids knew about it, and they told me at the end.
Oh no.
There you go. We didn't tell you, Coach. I was like, oh, thank you. I couldn't figure out what they were giggling about, but then they told me at the end. Oh, that's one I won't tell you the bad ones. Let's see. So doing an online icebreaker, it's relatively simple, especially if you use docs. But I know the elementary kids aren't going to have direct access, so I'm struggling. What do you guys do right now? Let me ask, because without everybody having open access, sometimes it's tough to use those tools that I think are right at your fingertips. And I know I'm going to be speaking to an empty crowd here if I start talking about sharing things through Google Docs, because those kids don't have accounts yet. So what do you do right now?
Well, mostly face-to-face, and you mean, yeah, mostly paper and pencil, or if their parents tell me that I get some reports back from practicing that they're doing online at home. Well, like that extra math, I got a nice report the other day back on that. But I know some of the teachers in the 3rd and 4th grade have their kids send them their spelling practice electronically. I know one teacher is an email, but I should have talked to the other teacher because she's a big Google user. She might do Google Docs, I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm going to play around with one tool in a little bit with everybody just to have fun, but I was just curious what you did like the first few week or so of school to get to know everybody in a way, and how we could, I was going to try to think of some different ways that we could incorporate technology there, because that's kind of where this next module is headed a little bit, trying to create that online community in your classroom, not just in your classroom, but also at home and through whatever resources are there. So I know it's tough at elementary. I'm struggling to think of connections that I can make.
In my class, we have like this big bingo sheet, and it says find someone who likes ice cream or likes to go to the beach and things like that, and then they have to go around and ask each other, and then someone signs that square. So you have to get all the squares signed by different people. So that's something we do like the first day of school.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I gotta think for a minute. Oh man. We do a couple things. We do, but depends what class. I'm trying to think. It makes me go back in time.
We do first day of school.
First day of school? Yeah. Oh, we have the handbook for first day of school.
Well, the handbook's not fun.
No, but that's nice. That's the first one. The second day, we do all of that other stuff. We do, like the icebreakers. I've seen the one Jeannie's talking about. I've seen that one before. I've done the bio poem before, a questionnaire. I have this little, it's like a little person timeline. They fill it out. It has their birth date on it, the day they were born, things they fear, their thoughts, what they feel strong about, and different things. And that's kind of cool. And not everybody has to read every, part of the template, but we do go around the classroom and we share. And sometimes I use like a randomizer, and everybody in my classroom has a number, and when their number appears on the board, they get to choose, what they feel comfortable sharing with the class. So we get to learn a little bit about each other, and it's I try to make it non-threatening, you know, by making it random, and it's kind of fun. Kids actually want their number to be chosen. It's kind of funny. I remember when I was a kid, I was really shy, so if my number would have came up on the board, I would have got really nervous, but the kids really like it, and I think they think it's kind of fun that way, so we do that. I think of some other things I've done in the past. I show like a little PowerPoint movie about myself, you know, pictures of my kids, my dogs, my horses, and things about me so the kids can kind of connect with me. And it's, I think they really like it because they see that we're human, and, you know, I like animals too, or my kids hunt and they hunt, you know, so we start to make, I guess, little connections that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done that too.
What do you do, Arthur?
I do something called time capsules, and I just give them at this point it's been more face-to-face because our technology has not been up and going on the first week of school. So it's more of a face-to-face session, and they have just little questionnaire things similar to what some of the other ones that have been shared. But then I stick those into I give them all a big manila envelope, and they put those in the manila envelope, and then I give them back to them on the last week of school. In addition to that, I also measure the height of each of the children. I put a piece of masking tape up the door jamb, and then I measure each one of them, and they can write that down so that they have a little idea what they are at the beginning of the year, and then I measure them again at the last week of school, and they can see what they're, how much they've grown over the year. So it's kind of a fun way to start the year, and that allows me a little bit of personal one-on-one interaction with each of the students as they come up and I measure them. So it just gives me a chance to greet and talk with each one of them for a few seconds on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still there, Shawn? Your screen is frozen. I think he has left us. So Shawn's, you probably figured out that we alternate weeks, and so this is his week. So I'm just more in the background, so I'm not really sure which direction he's going with the next topic.
Well, yeah, I didn't do that. I don't know if I did a lot of icebreakers or not here this year, but a lot of the children knew each other. I mean, I do spend a lot of time in the first couple of days everybody getting to know each other. I didn't know them very well, that's the thing, but most of them knew each other. But we did have 3 or 4 maybe kids new to the district in my room. And we always try to make sure that they feel right at home, you know. But
right.
Then I move them around a lot during the first couple weeks too, so they get to meet everybody, you know. But and yeah, well, I guess we do a lot of partner working in the first couple weeks, especially. We do it all year, but I mean, like sometimes I let them pick their own partner later, but now I'm still picking their partners, so I can mix them up that way too, I guess. But
I think this might be Shawn calling me, so keep talking.
I'll tell you a funny icebreaker we did in the 6th grade, only nobody talks about it because we don't want any of the kids to know about it before they get there. But we'd pass around a roll of toilet paper and we just say, take whatever you think you're going to need. And then some of the really wise guy kids will take a whole lot of toilet paper. Okay. But once the whole room gets around the whole room, then
all right, in a bit.
I'll usually take 3 pieces for myself, but I have to tell 3 interesting things about myself. And then, then you go around the room, and however many squares of toilet paper they took, they have to tell that many interesting things about themselves. It's kind of fun.
I've heard of that one. That would be fun in a 6th grade.
It's hilarious in the 6th grade. I mean, it's just funny. It's so, but we just leave it for the 6th grade because we know that's a tradition there. But
Shawn had a power outage, and he'll be back on here in a minute or so. He hopes.
Oh, the power blinked here a couple times this afternoon. Did it at your place?
Not that I noticed.
Oh.
I've also in the past, like when I sent home a letter in the summer, sent a bag and they had to bring things to school, like things in their bag, and then they got to share it like during the first few weeks of school. So that was fun.
Oh, I think the teacher across the hall does that actually. She's got a brown paper bag that goes home. That's during the first week sometime.
I heard of some teachers like have the kids bring in their favorite book and talk about it as just as another way.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, so it sounds like it's kind of interesting as, I mean, just the difference between the secondary and the elementary, listening to Shawn there. So I'm thinking, ooh, there's some things that I'm not sure we're going to get to at the elementary, but
Yeah, I can't see my kids using Google Docs quite yet.
no, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Oh, I think he's back on. You there, Shawn? We saw your picture come up.
It's going to be a minute because everything's still firing up on my whole computer.
We can hear you again.
Out of it. I think you might. Good deal. Awesome. So that was interesting. I'm guessing it's the wind. The group screamed, the power went out, and no stereo went. So it's just me for a moment. But what we're talking about icebreakers. Jeez. I thought I broke something trying to share stuff with you guys. I clicked the button and off went the power in the whole house. So I was about to share a document. What did I miss? You guys solved all of those problems, didn't you?
No.
No. Tried anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a fun little activity with you, and I'm hoping that I don't crash the world here, but my computer's running super slow.
Kathy, while his computer's coming up, I really liked your extra math. I was not aware of that site, so I started the kids on it this week, and it's been interesting. It's been very telling also.
Oh, you mean they're not doing very well, or?
Well, one of our complaints is that the students, by the time they're in fourth grade, they're still not able to add and subtract. And so that's been kind of a complaint that the other fourth grade teacher and I've had for a few years is they just still are not able to do a basic addition subtraction. So we put them on, and with this extra math, it won't let them go on until they've mastered it. And it's been interesting. All of a sudden, I'm seeing improvements in the last week, but I haven't seen any of them that have it mastered yet.
Oh,
That's
what is
the
it?
basic.
What are they going to do this?
Extra
This
math?
was,
There's no charge for it.
.org. So extramath.org. I'll put it over here in the. I just put it in the side group chat, so you can pick it up there.
Mm-hmm.
But Kathy had mentioned that in one of her assignments last week, and so I just thought, oh, I'm going to take a look at that. So it seems to be a pretty good exercise getting the kids going on the basics, and the nice thing about it is they can only go once a day. And so they can't just sit there and do this until forever, and then they're starting to lose the effectiveness of it. So it times them to only allow them to do it for about 5 to 10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, can everybody see that link up in the top right-hand corner of the chat box?
Can we see what?
There's a link up there to a Google document.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite everybody, I use my teacher language, to click on that and join me in a Google Draw. This is one tool that I've started playing around with when it comes to just doing an icebreaker. You can actually have your whole classroom, and I know this doesn't work unless all students have
Okay, time out.
Google.
Time out here. Mine is saying you need permission. Are you ladies also?
I shared it with you. Which Gmail, Arthur?
Okay, hold on. The new one just came up after you said that. There was one that you had shared earlier, and now there's a different one that just popped up since I It still says I need request.
Which Gmail? I know you got a few of them. Which one are you using right now?
I'm using the Arthur. Author.arthur.
Author.arthur?
Yes.
And that's at Gmail, just like that?
Trying to remember. Author.arthur. I can't remember my own email address. Author.arthur.classact@gmail.com. Sorry, little. Kathy and Jamie, are you able to get into his link?
No, I'm on my iPad and I'm trying to figure it out.
I've got Kathy in there.
Yeah, you're on the Module 5 ICE demo? ICE?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You typed in hello. And
yeah, now I'm colors.
This is a lot like Google Docs, except you can do a lot of Photoshop type stuff with it. You can do concept mapping with it and things like that, which is kind of neat. I use it a lot with my kids to do posters now. I don't do any posters with cutting magazines out or drawing. I have them use the digital tools. The kids with all the technology that they love to use them. I'm going to hold off till I get more than just Kathy in there.
Could you send it to my school email doesn't work for this, so I use J Ziller, Ziller, Johnson.
Z-I-L.
2 L's.
Two L's.
And then the ER.
Okay.
And then Johnson.
Okay, and that's it?
At Gmail.
Yep, I gotcha. I'll go ahead and send it.
Thank you.
Didn't like that one.
I still got to need permission even when I open it from the email.
Let's see.
Oh, I see why. Maybe.
Okay, try it now.
You know what I think it is, Shawn? Is I have 3 emails open right now, and even though I'm using Google Plus, when it comes up to need permission, it's showing a different email account. So I'm going to switch accounts and see if that works.
So if you're in there, I'm going to have you go ahead and you can go find an image off the internet, paste it in there. You can just create a text box and play around with arrows and things like that. I like to insert shapes a lot and do flow maps. Any shape can become a text box.
Oh, that's funny.
But you can imagine what high school students do. You have to go over a little bit of digital citizenship before you start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets real creative real fast. You have to stay on your toes with them. But the nice thing is you can connect any of these to each other. Yeah, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to try to get Arthur in here. Arthur, did you type yours in? Uh-oh, I think I lost Arthur. Oh no, I lost Jamie now. Kathy, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, it's just us.
Oh.
It looks like I still have Jamie in the draw, so that's good. But if you insert arrows, you can actually drag and point things to each other.
and I know this flow map does not make sense, but you can see how just by manipulating different things, you can make it do whatever you want. I've got kids right now that are drawing up their schematics and using it almost like a MasterCam program, CAD program to draw up a schematic. So it can be simple and fun at a very elementary level, and then you can be all the way up to using it as a two-scale drawing to actually draw out the map of a room or the architecture of a house or.
Oh my gosh. Well, you could start off by like taking notes on a subject.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can just have brainstorming, and that's what we do sometimes. We'll throw one of these up, and we'll just start brainstorming on it. And the kids can put in pictures and draw shapes, and they say, "Well, what do you mean?" And then you can actually open text box and have little conversations on one corner. And so, as an icebreaker, I've used it. I tell the kids to go find their spirit animal, and they love that. That's why I brought it up, because it was this community icebreaker unit. And what I do is I say, go find your spirit animal. And I say, I don't care about digital, anything. Go steal something, bring it back. We're going to delete it when we're done. And they all put their favorite spirit animal on there. Mine's the owl. And then they all have to write in here, why are you the owl? And so they'll put a text box underneath. And so what I'm tricking them into doing is using a tool that I'm going to use for the rest of the year, but also making a connection with them too.
Oh, right.
That's one tool that I really like is Google Draw, and it's one that not nobody, but hardly anybody even knows is there. It's right in Drive. Instead of making a document, just make a drawing, and you can do all this. And there's way more than what we're playing around with here. But my kids make posters in Google Draw for their presentation for huge STEM competitions, and they work great.
Oh, yeah.
Collages.
Boy, at our SIP meeting tonight, we were just talking about our district science fair. I mean, we're going to be participating in the regional science fair this year, and it's on February 12th. That just seems like it's coming up quickly.
It is.
And I mean, and because a lot has to happen between now and the regional science fair. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have to do it at your classroom, and then and then your school district, and then whoever else you're going to compete on and judge and grade and teach. And then the regional one, I think it's up at Lake State on February 12th. Yeah.
So let me see if I can find one thing that I have a student doing right now that you'd get a kick out of, and I'll share it. And that'll be kind of a neat way to see what we're up to as far as using it in a more advanced way too, other than just doing an icebreaker.
Right.
The icebreaker, as you have some of those images and things like that up, would be a good opportunity to also talk about the copyright.
Yeah, because we definitely, when we do that one, we're just stealing them for the moment, and then I delete that file. But I use it as an icebreaker. But then we do talk about how would you go search for these in another way, and I'll show them the advanced Google search tool for things that aren't copyrighted, and they don't like that, but they think that's hooey.
Yeah.
What am I looking? Oh gosh, what's wrong with me? I'm looking for one, and I've got to go to my different Drive account. I really don't like having more than one Google account. Sometimes
I know. It gets. I know.
That's why I disappeared a few minutes ago. I wouldn't let me sign in because I had more than one account up. I was signing off of them, and it signed me out of everything.
I'm hoping that it's something they fix in the not too far off future.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do a screen share real quick, and I'll just take you on a little visit of what the kids have just started these with me right now, and like last time. So they're just starting to learn how to use the tool. themselves. But so these are the beginnings of their projects. They have to create a STEM project that they're going to submit, and so one of their jobs is to create a logo. And so one student has created this from this program. So this is not copy and pasted. He actually made every bit and part of this using the shape tools. And then I know that student is pretty creative. I think he was making a case for a smartphone to attach a microscope to, and I think this is what this one is. Yeah. And so he drew all of these, just like schematics or information or an actual drawing to scale. So this is actually to scale for an actual phone. And he's a little better at doing the, what's the word? The depth analysis or the three-dimensional stuff than I would be even at this. So this is his Google Drive. And when you print these out, it doesn't show this grid in the background. That's just to give you a scale. And you can also see there's a comment function. And I'm going to go to ours, and if I started to comment, I'm sorry, not comment, but a chat function, just like regular Hangouts, I can say hello. And so if we're working on something together, we can sit there and talk to each other as we're working on it. So just another neat thing while you're playing around inside of Draw itself. So to show you just a few different applications of it. At the elementary, I could see a lot of brainstorming, a lot of pie charts, a lot of flow maps and different ways for students to get to play but also learn and share using technology. So that's just one that popped in my head. I'm going to stop sharing now. Take that, excuse me, off. But it is 8 o'clock, and I'm going to ask if there's any more questions to have anybody just stay after. If you have questions.
Not even understand what you're saying there, Shawn.
Oh, I was saying it's 8 o'clock. I was going to say it's probably time to allow people that need to leave, and I'll stay on and answer any questions if anybody has any.
I have a question. You know how you put those web addresses up, or those links up in the group chat? Can a person access later?
All those links and stuff, they will be in the YouTube, but they're not going to be links there. So no, they will be.
No, okay, that's all right. I just was.
Do you know how to take a screenshot?
Yeah, I did. I did that already. Yeah.
All right, good deal. Awesome.
I was just curious.
No, because it's like, it turns your screen into static at that point, so you won't be able to access them as a link.
Right.
But the document should be shared with you in your drive. So the only one you'd have to remember is the extra math.
Right. Oh, gotcha. I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to go into your drive and just go to shared with me, and it should be right there. So, yeah. Well, if there aren't any questions, I'm gonna go ahead. And we'll see you next time. Good luck on Module 5.
Okay, great. Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good
Night, Sarah.
Good night, Jamie.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey,
Oh.